Hello, dear friends, and welcome to live conversation on ALLATRA TV India. We continue meeting people around the globe so we can together realize what our common goal is, how we, people, envision creative society, and what is it for us. Today, we are going to speak about 8 foundations of building the creative society, and those who are joining us for the first time, please visit our official website ALLATRAunites.com to find out more about this big global unique project that has been launched on ALLATRA International Public Movement. So my name is Alla, and my dear co-host for today is Dr. Nita. Hello, Dr. Nita. Could you please introduce our lovely guest?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon from India. So, I am very pleasure and very happy to welcome our guest today. And with great pleasure, I would like to introduce Akshara Seth, an internationally certified psychometric assessor, POSH Certified, happiness coach, wow, NLP practitioner, and bundles of happiness. So, welcome here to the ALLATRA Creative Society. So
Thank you.
without delay, I would love to ask you, you are a life coach. Could you please share in your opinion what are the core values in building a reliable human relationship?
Oh, thank you so much. And a big namaste from my side to all of you and to all the viewers here watching. Um, Thanks for the question. Core values in building human relationships. Everyone wants to know the secret to a good relationship. And we read about it, we study about it, we reach out in psychology, horoscopes, different languages about love, so much and so forth. But the true key to a great relationship is very simple. And I think there are four core values to it, right? First is being kind. Okay. So we've got to be kind to ourselves and to everybody around us, because each one of us are going through different situations, having a gust of emotions, feelings, everything happening at the same time. And kindness is like that glue, that holds people together, not just romantic relationships, but the entire humanity. And when kindness outweighs negativity, happiness results. So I think the first most important value is being kind. Second, I think, is authenticity. You know, Being authentic is something which is extremely important part of our lives, of the relationships that we hold with people around us. And because of various kind of comparisons, because of various kind of different competition that we get into, right? We have somewhere forgotten who we really are, and we're deluded to this process of corrupting ourselves on daily basis. We're trying to be somebody else, we're trying to be something else, we're trying to people please, we're trying to just be away from the true essence of the individual as we are. So if we don't compromise on self-esteem, lead to authentic self of our own selves, I think that is something which can really build beautiful relationships, because there's an ideal amount of understanding of your own feelings and also the people's feelings around us. And that's how we can be true to ourselves in whatever work that we are doing, or whichever sphere of life that we are trying to build relationships in, right? Third, I feel communication. So trust, support, respect comes in once we initiate a dialogue, which leads us to many other facets. We all know it's important. However, we are never told that why is communication important. We're always told that we should communicate, we should go ahead, take initiative. But the whole essence of, there are so many factors that hinge on us as individuals and also people around us, the office colleagues, the friends, the extended families, the families. For us to be able to say what we mean to each other, for us to just express ourselves freely, how it affects our mood. Communication has the whole, I'd say a universe to it by itself, right? And last but not the least, the fourth value I feel is forgiveness. What it does is, what it means, not letting go, just not letting go. Forgiveness is also releasing a lot what we are holding on to in terms of negative emotions. And once that happens, once we forgive ourselves before others, we are able to reconcile with our own selves, and then the journey of loving truly ourselves begin. So I think those are the four values.
Thank you so much. It's true, isn't it? If you will be kind to each other, you can so become friends with each other as well and help each other. And if you will be communicate and understand each other for what we expressing, it's actually key for this piece, isn't it? If you're speaking truthfully and openly, with using the kindness and using the mutual respect towards each other, it could be so amazing world created just because of that few values you already explained to us today. Thank you so much. And the next question to you will be, we know that you are a happiness coach as well. And could you please share what is happiness? Is it matter of choice or circumstances?
This is a very interesting question. And as a happiness coach, I definitely am asked this, that what does happiness mean to you? And so I feel it is a very subjective topic, right? And as Aristotle had said, that happiness is basically the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim of human existence. That's what happiness is all about. And for each person, there is a different journey. For each person, the end aim is different. For some of us, there is no end aim as well. So, as humans, we are always looking for progress. We are always looking to grow from where we were yesterday and wanting to go ahead, to do something new, learn something new, to evolve as a different individual. And towards that, ultimate happiness, I think, boils down to a small course of corrections that we make daily. So I can't say that one day I'm happy in 10%, and second day I'm happy 30%, fourth day I'm happy 100%. So every single day, it is more of a conscious decision, a conscious choice that we make every single day, right? And feeling happy can be defined as a sustainable effort that we put in to ourselves. So it's not, happiness is certainly depends on the way we live our lives and how we view the world, how we are able to create a world of our own through the lens that we see. So I think, we all can go out and choose our happiness every single day. If I smile, I'm able to make somebody else smile. There are two people smiling. So it is definitely beyond the choice of circumstances. As human beings, we tend to hold ourselves and get stuck and self-sabotage also in that process. We, prefer to blame unhappiness upon the circumstances. But if our happiness is dependent on the circumstances, then a lot of people would rarely be happy, right? So we understand that there are hardships, there are adversities, there are disappointments. But at the same time, there is also an accountability with each one of us to take that conscious next step. Conscious next, I think, yes, it is definitely, that's what.
So thank you, Akshara, for bringing in this beautiful saying by Aristotle. I also believe, as you said, if I smile and the other person smile, so it is two happiness. So I would actually add, like, it can also be 1 plus 1, 2, or it can be 1 and 1, 11. Very well said. So what, in your opinion, what unites all of us, regardless of nationality, religion, status, or affiliations? What do we all have in common? Would you highlight something on this?
Sure. So Something that unites all of us is, as individuals, as human beings, our capability of making mistakes, our capability of learning from them. So, as humans, we are all deep down social animals. We want to reach out to people, we want to interact, we want to connect, we want to talk. And this is irrespective of nationality or religion, right? But at the same time, we all, each one of us, has that inner critic that makes us think that, oh my God, what is the world going to think about me? Oh my God, what if I don't succeed? What if I do something else? That, regrets that we carry from the past. Each one of us have it. So biologically, we are the same. Neurologically, we are wired the same way. But during the journey of life, somewhere, I think there are some who just get stuck in the past and not able to move on. There are some who definitely have a little, I would say, a more optimistic perspective to life. And that's where that capability of learning from them and jumping back every single time helps us as individuals. And that is what something that unites us. Just imagine a world where everybody put together having that capability of learning from each other. Every single day brings us an opportunity to learn something new. So we've got 365 days in a year and 365 learnings we can have. It's just a matter of a little perspective shift, and I'm very sure that this is a beautiful place to be in.
Thank you
I
so much.
hope that answers the question.
Very good answers, question. Thank you so much, Ms. Akshara. It's really important, isn't it, for us to understand each other and to learn from each other as well. Because if we learn from each other, we can respect each other and value each other as well in this point of view. Because that life is given for all of us, and we're all humans, and we all have these core values in all of us as well. Like as we spoke today earlier about kindness, friendship, and mutual values of respect to each other and sharing this love basically and peace and harmony around us. And we all want to bring because these amazing things into the world, because we today all live in a society which is dependent on each other. And if you learn from each other, we can make this blossom world, isn't it? Make it absolutely amazing for everyone. So my next question to you will be about the creative society. And this is the main question we ask all our guests who come into this program, and it's very valuable for us to know, how do you envision creative society where all conditions are created so that the best human qualities is prevail, where every person lives its fulfilled life? What is creative society for you? Could you please tell us?
Sure. So for me, a creative society is where every single individual, where we are given that kind of an open platform, where there is a lot of equality, where people are not judged for who they are, for how they react, for how they perform, for, they can just freely express themselves. So I think, when we talk about the different foundations, or how we feel that, or how as an individual I feel about it, I think the most important is the human freedom. If you're able to provide that and equality, these are the two top factors which I feel definitely for a human race to evolve. And every single day when we get that kind of an opportunity where we can invent something, we can do something, so that we all are blessed with the gifts as a human, with the ability to choose how we want to lead our lives. And that's exactly what we are made to do. We just imagine the fact that if we all become, growth seekers and truly trailblazing the paths where evolution is the only aim for all of us, right? But that's I hope that answers your question. So a society which is open, society where people can freely perform and express themselves.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very, very much for bringing in the most crucial part of freedom, expression of equality. Very well said. So we understand that this is possible to build a creative society where all people unite around with one goal to create a world where everything is directed to improve the quality of our life. You are working with teams. In your opinion, how can we, humanity, become one team?
So great. It's like, I think that both the questions are interconnected, and I think it's a very valid question because uh, to talk about a creative society, to talk about holistic, one single goal, if we talk of, I think most of the people are sleepwalking through their lives. They don't feel the pull of an internal purpose. They somewhere kind of are missing, the action, the will and desire to really take that kind of an action. And they're pulled through for various obligations. You've got work obligations, you've got school obligations, you've got family obligations to take care of, and their days just move in a normal routine. But at the same time, like they say, flowing water down the water wheel is something still fine, but if the water becomes stagnant, that also becomes poison at the same time. So instead of being in that same pond for a very long time is not a very relevant thing. But at the same time, if people realize, that it's got to be more. It's not enough to just have lived. We've got to be determined to live for something, right? And towards that, I feel as a team, when we work with different organizations, different schools, colleges, the first thing is that happiness and peace. That's one of the factors. For every individual, there has to be a ripple effect, and that eventually is going to liberate everybody from the worries, from the stress that they have, and which will eventually help them in reaching their full potential. And second is that there are various topics where people have spoken about. I think one of them is global warming as well. We need to come together not to just save the planet, but also save a human race. One big goal is enough to unite everybody and has the potential of making everyone to contribute towards that, right? And like I said, that if we all become growth seekers, with that essence of a brutal self accountability, who you were, where you want to be, we have to wake up. We have to take all those relevant steps, and that's only possible when we're able to take the steps bit by bit. So that's how it's going to be, one at a time, one step at a time, like they say.
You're absolutely right. Thank you, Akshara. And I love your example as well of the water. And you write about this collective effort towards to change the society, shift society from consumerist format to a creative one. Because the creative society is piece of a harmonious, constructive, stable, secure society where we all can live happier, first of all, and feel safe as well. And many things you have shared with us is exactly what it's all about. Collective effort towards all humanity to create these decent conditions for all of us. So thank you so much for your answers. And now I would love to introduce to you and to our friends who are watching us right now that the 8 foundations of creative society. But before that, let's watch a short video how they was formed.
The biggest social polling in our entire history of civilization has been conducted during the last 10 years by people around the world. 180 countries, millions of people of different social statuses, denominations, nationalities, talk about the society in which they want to live in. And this is a creative society based on the answers of the people from around the world. 8 foundations of creative society were established. A society where all people can live in happiness, peace, and prosperity. This is that very society that our prophets bequeathed to us. All prophets talked about the value of life, freedom, honesty, common human values, equality before God, mutual respect, and unification of people, about love for each other. They talked about the common truth and about the world which we can create. The prophets said, there will be a time when we're able to build a creative society. We are honored to live in the time which the prophets talked about, when everyone is chosen.
Indeed, everyone is chosen, and it depends on every single of us, how we treat people around us, how we treat our planet and nature and everything around us. So we need to together find the solutions. How can we come together and just create this world and create the conditions so our world will be better? And one of the solutions is creative society as well. And this is why we have these discussions today, together realize what our goal is. And I'd love to ask you that question because you know you got familiar with about 8 foundations of building the creative society. Could you please tell us what has most touched you in those 8 foundations? Does it resonate with your worldview?
So the different foundations, I would say that the most important one, there are 2 which I really appreciated. So one is justice and equality. And, when we actually have that kind of equal platform for everybody, we've seen so many cases about girl-child education. There are communities that are being, we've had cases of racism, and we've been hearing about these from ages. So for us, as individuals, for a generation that we're living in, for the times that we are living in right now, I think all resources should be equally provided to each one. And why not? I mean, I think as human beings, when we are born, we should have that kind of a right towards growth. And when we are given that kind of an opportunity, we never know what we might just come up with. So we all are capable individuals. If we are self-aware of our own selves, I think there can be no stopping for any of us. Right? That's one. And second, I also really liked the foundation of, and which I resonate with, is development of personality. So every human being is in some way or the other ready for evolving. It's just that they perhaps don't know at certain points in their lives about the certain opportunities that they have. They can't see them. So I think if we are able to enable them in some way, the opportunities in some way of how we can actually evolve in a better way, I think there is no stopping for any of us. With that awareness about our own selves comes freedom of choice, freedom of expression, So if you're all educated, if you're all given the right and the relevant kind of opportunities, I think we are home. We have a better society already.
Thank you, Akshara, for bringing in that evolving and making this aware that justice, equality is really important. And we all as humans can really work for it. So in your opinion, can the implementation of these foundations create conditions to eliminate violence, conflicts in all spheres of life?
Definitely. I think, every single day, every single individual is blessed with a choice. And when we're talking of these foundations to be implemented, when we are educated better, when we are having the relevant kind of justice systems available with us, I think, of course, when we are, living a life with a sense of purpose, with a sense of meaning in it, when we are able to see, what lies ahead for us, if you're given that kind of a vision, when we are beginning with that kind of an end in mind, I think these foundations are very, very strong steps towards that. And we can definitely eliminate violence and conflicts because everybody is just going to be focusing on what we are aiming at, what our bigger objective and larger objective is in life. So
Yes.
yes, definitely.
Thank you so much, and that's very important because you view on 8 foundations, and you're right because there's 8 principles which we all want. They were formed and based out of desires and wishes of people around the globe, and actually expressing themselves what kind of world we all want to live in. Thank you so much for your answer, and I'd love to also remind our viewers if you would like to find out more about those 8 foundations and 3 stages for building the greatest society, please visit our official website, Allatraunites.com. And I would like to speak with you as well about second foundation, and it stands for human freedom. And it said, I'm going to read it right now. So every human is born with the right to be a human being. All people are born free and equal. Everyone has the right to choose. There can be no one and nothing on earth above a human, his freedoms and rights. The implementation of human rights and freedoms must not violate the rights and freedom of others. So I'd love to ask you, in your opinion, how important is freedom of choice for personal development? Where should we start from to learn how to value freedom for every person?
Great, great. I must say, the list of questions are amazingly drafted. And definitely, I think the most important part of personal development is that it's a process of evolution. There is a lot of unlearnings, learnings, and relearning required at every single step of our lives. And that can only happen when we, begin with acceptance. We've got to 90% of the times we are in a state of denial. We just feel that, okay, somebody tells us that, okay, this is a little area of improvement for you, or this is where you can be worked on. So we never really take it in a very positive way. We tend to take things more negatively. We take things more personal. And I think in some way, if we have that kind of freedom of choice, and that also comes forth from different societal pressures. So if we have that kind of a freedom, we have that kind of a freedom of choice to really do what we want to, for example, for a job per se, from simple decisions like what to eat for dinner, what to wear to work, maybe the heavier ones like who to be friends with, who not to be friends with, choosing a relationship that you want to be in. There are so many people I come across and I know who have been suffering toxic relationships and they're not able to come out of it because somewhere deep down they just get into that loop and they don't want to really. So it's a very critical part of I'd say self-development, where each and every one of us have to make those choices that shapes your experiences and brings you to where you are in life, right? So as individuals, even if you're 5 years old, we've got 5 years behind us. As 30 years old, we've got 30 long years behind us. And for somebody who is reaching a senior citizen or a veteran, they're becoming. So there is a huge amount of experience that they're carrying. But what to choose over there as well? The kind of self-reflection process that you go through, that is what brings huge impact. And if I can just mention here about psychometric assessments, that's one of the tools, self-reflection, self-exploration. There is huge amount of means and ways to go about it, but it is important. And people still somewhere don't feel that value of it because they are happy the way they are, But to move ahead in life, to choose to make that kind of a choice to move ahead is extremely, extremely that power is in our hands, and it is just that we get into that whole frame of blaming others, despite we have the power within us. And soon as we put a blame for any kind of a circumstance or a situation that we come forth, we give that power away. So true ownership is basically our participation, our co-creation as a society and as an individual as well, of how we want to lead to things and how we want to grow in our lives.
So well said, Akshara, that as human, we definitely have choice. choice to think, choice to pick up kind of people. So understanding the current scenario in the current consumer format, which we have the concept of power, but in creative society, there is no notion of power, while responsibility is important. Could you please share your understanding of these notions? What is the difference?
Right. So power and responsibility, I think, goes hands in hand. And to add to this, there is accountability as well. So showing power as a weapon is definitely a no-no. And that also you don't have for a very long time. As human beings, we tend to forget this fact that nothing is permanent. Change is constant. So today I may have power for a certain thing, and tomorrow, as a position, if I talk about positional power, and tomorrow somebody else might have. So for us, the power is power of choice. Responsibility is that we've got to give confidence to others. We've got to have that kind of a happy marriage between our response and accountability. Only then, in the whole process of how we are able to take decisions collectively, at a greater level, is then going to take, I'd say, bigger chunk of who's taking the bigger chunk of responsibility. For example, in case of COVID-19, I think there was one section of people who were just blaming the government, what we could do, what we could not do. At the same time, it is individual responsibility for each one of us to be wearing that mask. And if you're not wearing it, the cases are going to increase. Nobody is supposed to be blamed. It is we as individuals. So it goes hand in hand, And apart from that, if you're able to reach at that stage of when we're reaching out to that stage of happy marriage, I think we are home. When we are able to connect the dots between people as a society, we will be there.
You're absolutely right. We all have to take responsibility for our actions and even our words, what we're using, because they also can harm other people. So and today we thank you for such a great examples you provide for all of us in our viewers as well. Because yes, if we act responsibly, even for this situation, as you said, because we're all interconnected, and same as creative society, we can't build it only in one country. It has to be built around the whole world. So everybody will deserve to live in a world that we all want to live in. And this is why it's a collective effort for that as well, to shift for better society, for better world, for more responsible one as well. Because we can do everything. We can overcome all crises and absolutely everything together if we're united. So I'd love to tell you that we would love to show you another video today about, it's a short animated video, which will be showing us what consumers' format of society has brought upon us and why we do need extremely fast and as quick as possible to shift for different societies. So let's watch this little video now.
Aliens came to Earth. At first they flew around it, saw everything, and then decided to talk to the people on Earth. They asked, "Why do you have so much garbage and garbage cans?" "Well, this is because we don't have enough money to build waste processing plants." "But why do you have so many hungry and homeless people?" "Well, this is because we don't have enough money to feed them and build houses for them." "But why are you constantly at war with each other?" "This is because we don't have enough money and we're trying to take it away from others." The aliens scratched their heads and said, "We fly around galaxies, have explored many worlds and planets, but have never met such a rare and, as it turns out, such a very necessary resource as money. Could you show us what it looks like and show where you get it in space? Then we will try to get it, bring you more of this money, and help you establish harmony on your planet." "We don't fly anywhere to get money," the Earthlings answer. "We print it ourselves." "Yourselves?" said the aliens. "Yes." After this answer, Earthlings were deleted from the list of intelligent beings.
Yes, it's this eye-opening video, I think, because it have showed us now and today and here that this planet is our common home. And we are humanity and we are one family. And of course, it's our responsibility of all our actions and our decisions we make in this planet. And joke on us, actually, in this video as well. So I'd love to ask you that question. How do you think it's necessary and important to shift to better society? And why you think it's important to do it right now?
A very nice video. I must compliment the whole team for that. Why now? Because this is the only time we have. We're living in a time, in those times where things are very, very dynamic. I think 10 years back, right now, we're living in an age of infodemics, and I think it's not just the pandemic, but the infodemic, the kind of information that we have, the kind of society challenges that we are facing overall, right? So it is, like I said, change is the only constant, and it is more about a shift of the perspective and to give it structure, right? But this needs to be more flexible. It has to have that enough space for gray. It cannot just be black or white, right? We've got to understand the perspectives of the other people. We've got to have that element of empathy, to be living in harmony with each one. And also, not just that, but at the same time, give that kind of space to others. So we've got to be adaptable to understand what the other person wants, what the other person is feeling, how the other person is, what the other person is wanting to do. And at the same time, have that kind of conscious accountability of each one of us, that this is how I can make a conscious choice. This is how I can stand for a specific cause, or if I can volunteer in some way, or on daily basis, if I can do something good for a person. I think we all should, as a society, just make it, one law if we can create, I think that should be that do something good and note it. And, you got to write about it, that what good did you do today? So I think that's where once people start, you can see, because you can only, manage what you can measure. So if you have that measurement in place, you have the right management in place. And people can definitely, we all are like, water. We all just keep on moving in search of something or the other. We are all ready to evolve, but we've got to have that kind of a channel. We've got to channelize our energies in the right direction. So I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Akshara, for bringing this. I really loved it so beautifully. You said, that we need to all be so good, doing something good and writing down as law that what good we are doing. And I think if each human does this, it's going to be a lot. So as we are testing the theory of 6 handshakes, whom would you like to invite for our next conversation and to hear his or her vision of creative society?
Sure. I would like to invite Mr. Deepal Vora and Rupali Gautam.
They sound both absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, and we're looking forward for receive the contacts and actually have them on our program, and also ask their vision about creative society. What is that for them? And maybe you can join us and be a co-host as well for this for next broadcast with your friends, because it's very important, and you can ask them these questions. What this world for them will be mean. I also would love to remind to our viewers, please, if anyone want to see or find out more about Creative Society projects, please visit our official website, ALLATRAunites.com, where you can see red Join Us button. And you can, once you press it, you can see choice of languages. Please choose your language, and all you need to do is fill a short and easy form, and participants of ALLATRA International Public Movement will contact you shortly. It's very easy to join. Join millions of people around the globe who are already today acting towards better society, shifting our consumers form of the society to the creative, supportive, harmonious one, because we and our children and the generation deserve to live in a better world. They deserve to have clean water and safe food. They deserve to have safe environment and actually clean streets. And they deserve to have better life for all of us and for everybody around us as well. And I'd love to thank you so much, Akasha, for such a beautiful interview, for great examples, what we can do for as a humanity, and some advices you have passed to us as well, because towards your answers with some advices how we should behave, to be happier, how should we be more responsible. And it is our global achievement towards better society and this let's say, better world for all of us. And I'd love to say big thank you for Dr. Nita as well. Nita, you're amazing, and such a lovely to have you as a part of this conversation today. And we have learned so much from both of you today, and we're so happy to have this conversation with both of you. And
thank you, Allah. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
And also would like to say a big thank you for our viewers and our technical support who is with us here today. And again, Ms. Akasha, we basically want to say you're not just big gratitude, but for joining this project. It means you are standing next to us, shoulder by shoulder, in the same efforts to change the society. And we wish you all the best and all the luck on your path, and let's stay connected and in touch. And also I'd love to mention that, friends, we also wanted to share with you a great news. We have an international online conference is coming up on the 24th of July at 3 p.m. GMT, where we will provide an overview of external and internal factors of the rapidly progressing global crisis that affects already everyone. So we need to unite all together. Please join us on 24th of July. And because this is going to be broadcasted on thousands of platforms around the globe and will be simultaneously translated in 60 languages. So let's share this news with everyone. Let's unite this day so we can actually together find solutions for those crises that come upon all of us, because it's our life and it's our future and it's concerned our children and their future as well. So thank you very much, everyone. Let's watch this trailer now, and I wish you all the best and all the lovely days ahead of us. Thank you so much. And bye for now.
Thank you so
Akshara.
much. Thank you. And I hope that everybody keeps smiling and making happy choices every day.
Absolutely.
All the best, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Modern civilization has reached the point of instability and global crisis. The global financial, economic, environmental, anthropological, and climate crises are realities that every person is already facing. But this is only the beginning. The fourth industrial revolution and a threat of mass unemployment. Future without jobs, causes of the inevitable collapse of the world economy if the consumerist format is preserved. The problem of overpopulation, rapid depletion of the planet's resources. Global climate change. It's time to understand the reality of world threats. International online conference. Global crisis. This already affects everyone. Is the event of utmost importance, organized by volunteers from around the world on the platform of ALLATRA International Public Movement on July 24th, 2021 at 1500 Greenwich Time. A live broadcast of the conference will be streamed on thousands of media channels and platforms with simultaneous interpreting into more than 60 languages. The future of humanity. Self-destruction or the development of civilization.